Hello, how are you? Now I'm going to do a practical demonstration of how the subqueries work and how the different subqueries that I have discussed in the earlier video. Now, without wasting so much time, okay, we're going to work with our database, the database called DIM. So if you look at our table called student, okay, those are the rows for the table, and our table called program. Sorry, select all from program. That's the data that we have in both tables. Now we're going to try and look at using the where clause in a subquery. Now what we're going to do is we want to see how we are in position to get to know the program whose tuition is less than the average tuition. So basically, if you look at this, you realize that you have these three records. So we want to do that and see what we get. So using our select. Now this is the subquery, the select subquery, but at the same time all we want to do is to see how the where clause is used in this particular query. So where tuition is less than, and then you open brackets, okay, and say select average in brackets tuition, because we want to see those programs whose tuition is less than the average tuition. Then you say from program. So what's this query? Oh, sorry. What is missing? Near. Hold on. It's saying the general syntax at line 1, near. Select tuition program from program where tuition is less than, in brackets, select average tuition from program. Oh, okay. Okay, I did not, I didn't close. I think I didn't close. Okay. So basically what we're doing is we want to get the programs whose tuition is less than the average tuition. So what the inner query will compute the average tuition. So what I was telling you, that the system first computes the inner query. So sometimes the code will not run. So what you can do, you can first run the inner query to see that the inner query is correct. Okay, sometimes we do it to be sure. So here you first run your inner query and you know that your inner query, the average tuition is 3.2. So you know that the inner query is working. Also, you can try and test your outer query from program. You're sure that your outer query is also working perfectly. So when you bring them together, now you bring both together, then you get that as your answer. So the average, you already got the average, which was 3.2, and then we wanted to see that program whose tuition is less than the average, and in that case it was BEAST. That is how we use the where clause. And then using the having clause, we can use again, we can say select fname last name, okay, prog code, and then we say minimum in bracket years underscore in school brackets, and then years in school, and then we say from from student. You can say group by prog code, and then you say having minimum in bracket years in school less than years in school less than in bracket, then you say select minimum in bracket years in school, okay, from, don't forget to mention the table, from student where registration number is equal to, into brackets, then it is 04/U/78S. It's quite a long code, but not so long. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, select first name, last name, prog code, minimum years in school, from student, group by the program code having the minimum years, okay, that are less than, then you begin your inner query. Okay, so once you do that, we terminate this. Sorry, so we terminate this. Empty set. So that means that we don't have, the query doesn't have a problem, but we do not have, a scenario where the outer query does match the criteria in the inner query. So we don't have, that's why it's saying empty set. It cannot return any results because the criteria does not match, but there's no problem with the syntax. Unfortunately, I cannot try to make this so many changes, the adjustments, because my video cannot go beyond 15 minutes. So I want to go through the other subqueries. Also, we can use subqueries to get data from different tables. Okay, for example, this is a select statement where we can get data from different tables, and then it kind of merges them together. Prog code from, now this is the first table that we are getting data from, where prog code is equal to, in bracket, select prog code from program. Now that is the second table, where prog name is equal to, in brackets, Bachelor of Software Engineering. Okay, then you close the query. Now what you have seen here is we are using the subquery to pick data from two tables. Okay, so we have picked data from the student table, and it was reg number, first name, last name. The inner query gave us the data from the table called program, and the query the data that it gave us was the program code, because we have specified that we want the program code to be the column to be displayed. So it matched the prog code to the prog name, and then it returned the prog code. So that is getting data from the different tables. So there is also updating data using subqueries. You can update your data, okay, using the subqueries. So you can use of course, we all know now the general syntax of updating. So it's saying that update student, set the program code to become, let's say become, okay, become, where the prog code, and then you say in, depends on what you want, in, then select. Remember, in will return more than one record if the criteria fits. Then say select prog code from program where prog name is equal to, in bracket, Bachelor of Software Engineering, Bachelor of Software Engineering, okay, then we close and then we terminate. Now the query is okay, 3 rows have been effected. Now when we check, okay, select all from student, okay, select all from student. So you realize that where we had software engineering, it has been updated to become, okay. So that is using the query, using the subqueries to update the data. So then also using, we're going to look at deleting data using subqueries, and of course deleting the data from different tables. So deleting the data from different tables using subqueries. We shall begin our statement and say delete from student where prog code is equal to, and then you say select prog code from program where prog code is equal to, in bracket, BEAST. And then we'll close our bracket and then we select. So what has happened? BEAST has been deleted. Okay, delete from student where the prog code, so the inner query is supposed to list that prog code, which was BEAST, and then it deletes from the student. So when we go to select all from student, okay, now you realize BEAST is no longer part of our record. It has been deleted. So that is using the subquery to delete, using the subqueries to delete data from different data of different tables. Now, that is what I had for today. So the rest of the examples or whatever, we shall have to try them out practically in our Zoom class. Kindly go through these subqueries, different subqueries, for you to be able to acquaint yourself with this. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.